Let's be real here. In today's date and age, in 2025, you pretty much have to be a playboy to at least a certain extent to succeed in the dating market. And that is one of the harsh truths that we're gonna get into in just a second. I really started my self-improvement journey about 5 years ago, right? And throughout this time, I've gone on many dates, been in both short-term relationships, long-term relationships, casually dated. And the first thing that you really learn, the more women you're just around in general, the more women you date, you learn a lot about just the red pill nature of women. Now, I think it's stupid to put all your thoughts and ideologies into one philosophy like red pill, right? I don't consider myself a red pill type of guy. However, at the same time, there are several things that the red pill does talk about that you really start to understand the more women that you're around, that you date, so on and so forth. So just to clarify, I don't consider myself a red pill guy necessarily. However, these past 5 years, there was so much stuff about hypergamy and female nature that I've learned about women, which really fall under the whole red pill mindset. And the first thing really goes under the fact that women choose the men that satisfy their hypergamy needs. Needs in both a short-term essence, and as she gets to know you, dates you, do you satisfy her needs long-term from the hypergamy essence, right? Women date men at their similar SMV level or above, right? Basic hypergamy, okay? Right now in the dating market, you literally are what you attract currently, okay? This is something that a lot of dating coaches, cringy pickup coaches, right? They try to tell you that you can attract women with maximizing your mouthpiece or using advanced text game. The reality is, in the current state that you're in right now, you literally are what you attract currently. If she does not like you right now, no amount of mouthpiece maxing and the game, as these pickup guys like to say, and text game, advanced text game, it's not going to change that, okay? At the current state, at least, okay? Now, if you go on hard on self-improvement, do a little bit of looks maxing, right? Increase your sexual market value, gain more swagger. In the future, can you start attracting higher tier women? Of course you can. It's part of the level up process, the self-improvement, right? Every year as you level up, become the best possible version of yourself, you're going to kind of just unlock a higher tier of women, right? That's just naturally how it is. But right now, wherever you are in your current self-improvement journey, right? You are what you attract currently, okay? No amount of mouthpiece maxing in the current state is going to just magically, change how she views you in the hypergamous level. If she doesn't have that genuine desire for you right now, say you meet her out at a social event, right? Or, maybe you do like a cold approach. For whatever reason, she doesn't like you, right? She doesn't find you attractive, in that specific moment of time. You can run all the game you want. If you're not her type at that specific moment of time, it's not going to work. You have to level up, again, in all areas of your life. Not just the social skills and mouthpiece. That is important, but you need to level up on the looks level with fashion, style, grooming, all the stuff I preach on self-improvement in my channel. The next thing that I learned, under that red pill nature umbrella is women have options, okay? They can literally leave at any time throughout this process. If you guys have made it longer, you've dated, a couple months in a relationship, even then, the harsh truth is they can still leave you at any time if you're not satisfying her hypergamy at that moment. You need to always be at your best. Women have options. They could leave at any time. They biologically are wired to look for the best. So you become the best, okay? The best that you possibly can, okay? Don't get complacent even when you're in a relationship. Don't let yourself go. Always be in good shape. Always be leveling up, becoming the best possible version of yourself. And don't let yourself go even when you're in a relationship. As a single guy, you really do have to be a playboy. You really have to understand female nature. You can't just go on one date, a week even, and think that you're gonna get female nature. You need to level up. You need tons of options in the dating market. You need a system that's gonna help you attract more women, whether it be tons of cold approach, dating apps. You need a system that works. You need women into your dating funnel so you can understand female nature. You need to be going on a lot of dates, hanging out with girls, 3 to 4 dates a week, I'd say at a minimum, right? Because the more you're around women, the more you start really understanding female nature. And real quick, with that being said, in terms of attracting women and getting the women that you truly want, the top link in the description is my South Asian Warriors School. This is my school community that I built, helping single South Asian men level up their dating life. If you want to take your dating life to that next level, check out the first link in the description. Join the school community, man. It's just a great material to help you get the results you want even quicker. So with that being said, really, number one was just understanding more about female nature. Over the past 5 years, that was one of the most important things that Playboy lifestyle really taught me. You really learn a lot about women. Number two, we're getting into the nitty-gritty here, is that it often feels like you're dating the same type of girl. You really understand, where you are in terms of your self-improvement journey and your sexual market value, right? Because you really become aware, what your current status is in the dating market the more girls you date. Again, you are what you attract. When you've worked on yourself, self-improvement, made yourself more attractive, you start to really attract a certain type of girl, right? For your archetype and what you've worked on. I meet women, at grocery stores, organic grocery stores, the gym. I have a dating app profile that's very fitness oriented, healthy, lifestyle oriented, right? I don't drink. And as a result, you really are what you attract, right? Nowadays, when I go on dates, it often feels like I'm dating that same archetype of girl. For me personally, it's, the fitness, wholesome, morning routine, get up early, right? Just very fitness oriented women. As opposed to like even 4 or 5 years ago, I used to go out a lot. I used to go to clubs and bars. And, even just 3-4 years ago, right? I was attracting more of that archetype. But, fast forward a couple years later to current day, looks maxed, made myself more attractive, live a very wholesome, healthy, holistic lifestyle. I attract completely different type of women. So number three, what I've learned over the years is the fact that dating really is a numbers game, right? I knew this, obviously before 2020, but over the past couple of years in the modern day dating era, right? It's really just more so ingrained and kept getting reinforced into my head. You need to really lock this down and really grasp the fact that dating really is a numbers game. And the thing is, when you've worked on yourself, you've become more attractive and you become that guy, even then, if anything, it does actually become a little bit more stressful because you do really get tired, believe it or not, of going on all these dates. You get really burnt out of going on all these dates, rotations, meeting all these women, right? At the end of the day, I really did realize that a monogamous relationship, just coming home, having, an amazing girl to come back to, that really, at the end of the day, suited my palate way more than just playing casual dating year after year after year. Nowadays, all about monogamy. For me, I'm 32, right? I do want to have a family and kids one day, right? So now I'm on the monogamous path. But, I'll be honest, a couple years ago, just 3-4 years ago, right? 2-3 years ago even, it was all about Playboy lifestyle, casual dating, having fun, which nothing wrong with that, A lot of you guys watching this might be in your early or mid-20s, but I'm telling you, as time goes on, I think we as men, more so, a lot of men deep down, I really believe they do lean towards monogamy. Most men, they'll fake it, they'll act like all cool, oh, I want to be a Playboy. But trust me, man, a couple years into doing all this and casually dating, you really realize that at the end of the day, monogamy is it's a beautiful thing. It really is the way. Point number 3 is dating is a numbers game. Eventually, you do get tired going out on all these dates. And deep down, at the first couple of years, it might be fun casually dating all these women. But eventually, you get so tired and you're just like, F it. Monogamy. Settle down with one amazing quality girl. Let's be real. Most men, that's what they want. So for me personally, at least, getting burnt out, the lifestyle definitely got me burnt out. But for most of you, deep down, don't lie to yourself, right? At the end of the day, I do believe most men, at some point in time, it does kick them really deep, like, dang, they would be happy with just the monogamy and one loyal girl, right? One attractive, loyal girl, as opposed to, playing Playboy lifestyle, casual dating, hookups, all that the rest of their life. But the thing is, again, in the beginning stages of dating, like I said, you do have to be at least a bit of a Playboy, right? Casual dating, learning about female nature, going on all these dates, it's part of the process, okay? So point number 4 really dives it home in terms of the brown guy lens, right? Indian guy, South Asian guy, and that's the fact that your brown family, South Asian family, Indian family, right? They do start losing a little bit of hope, especially if you're a single guy in like your late 20s, right? You spent a lot of time, working on yourself, leveling up. You're going on dates here and there, but you're not going, say balls to the wall in your early 20s or mid 20s. When you start getting to your late 20s and your brown family sees that you're still single and you're still even going on dates, they themselves, right? They start losing hope, Even if you're working on your dating life, going on all these dates, even then, there's going to be a little bit of friction between you and your family, just giving you a heads up. They're going to start asking you things like, why are you not married? That question definitely comes up a lot. The whole, why are you not married? You're in your late 20s, so on and so forth. And the thing is, you can't necessarily blame them, but it's just the fact that they don't really understand the concept of casual dating and playing the field in the modern day dating era. I'm not married right now, so they still ask me that question. It's like, when are you getting married? Why are you not married, right? And that's something as a brown guy, depending on where you are in your dating journey, you really have to just get used to and come to grasp with. In today's modern day dating era, where everything's really scattered and all over the place, you really do have to vet women carefully, okay? The old school days of just assuming everything's going to go smooth, right, sailing, that's not the case. Tune out the noise that your parents might be, pressuring you a little bit, like, why are you not married? What's going on, right? At the end of the day, it's your life. Marriage, that's the biggest decision you'll ever make in your life. And yeah, if you have to be a Playboy, casually date, play the field for years until you find that quality girl that fits all your criteria, there's nothing wrong with that, okay? And don't let your brown parents tell you otherwise, okay? They don't control your life, bro. You control your life. A couple of years, right? Maybe you're in like your early 30s, mid 30s, and then you settle down with just a beautiful, kind, loyal, quality girl. All that hassle, the ups and downs, dating all these women, right? Single Playboy lifestyle, it's worth going through all that so you can really understand female nature and finally get to your goal of settling down with that high quality woman, if that's what you want, if the monogamous relationship is what you want. No judgment if you're one of the few brown guys out there that just wants to, be a Playboy the rest of his life. I get it, right? You don't need to be married to be successful, okay? It's not like you have to get married, right? But whichever direction you're leading on, right? If you want to just, casually date the rest of your life, or you want to get married, settle down, or you just want a serious girlfriend, listen, I respect all of them, When I was younger, right, the Playboy single lifestyle seemed so fascinating. But over the past, 3 to 5 years, right, I've really, gotten burnt out, man. I really have gotten burnt out, whether it be going on all these casual dates, casual hookups, short-term relationships, even a couple long-term relationships along the way. Just dating in general, it does get you burnt out. But anyways, whatever you want, man, it's your life. It's your dating life. Make the most of it. I hope you really do get what you truly want and deserve, man. If you want to do the polygamy stuff or casually date the rest of your life, nothing wrong with that either. And with all that being said, man, these are really the 4 things that the Playboy lifestyle taught me over the years, right? Over these past 3 to 5 years. I learned a lot about female nature, red pill nature, hypergamy. Women have options. They go for the best. So you have to level up, become the best. The second concept of you are what you attract. Every year, as you're on self-improvement, continuing to level up, you start kind of attracting a new tier of women. But within that year, right, it does often feel like you're dating the same type of girl. You are what you attract. Your results in the dating market really give you a good sense of where you currently are each and every year in terms of sexual market value. And then number 3, to get to where you want to be, dating is a numbers game, okay? You're gonna have to work hard for it. Just like lifting, building a business, you're gonna have to go on a ton of dates, right? You're gonna have to embrace that Playboy lifestyle. You're gonna have to casually date, vet these women out, so you get more experience and really filter out, to find what you're truly looking for. And then finally, the older you get, if you're still single, right, your brown family does start questioning it. They will start giving you crap about it. Oh, why have you not gotten married? But listen, it's your life at the end of the day. I don't think any man should get married, honestly, before the age of 30, if I'm being completely honest. Arguably, maybe late 20s, but definitely not before 25, man. So, yeah, these are the 4 things that Playboy lifestyle has taught me. With all that being said, again, if you're a single South Asian guy struggling with your dating life, click the link in the description, check out the school community, like and subscribe, drop a comment below, and I will catch you in the next video, homie. Peace.